Good morning and welcome to my early morning dog walk here at Hengersbury Head on the south coast. It's beautiful, it's a lovely summer's day and I'm really enjoying the outdoors. I wanted to talk to you this morning in my Just Roll With It video series, and I wondered if you had the kind of boss or key stakeholder who maybe sometimes doesn't quite remember everything you've told them. They don't know the details. So just when you need backing up in a meeting, they act as if you haven't presented it to them. Or perhaps it's the kind of boss who, when you go into the meeting, you have a great time, you've talked about lots of good stuff, but you come out and realise you haven't actually covered the agenda that you wanted to cover. You'd gone off at some sort of tangent. Or maybe after you finish the meeting and they've agreed to your proposal, they haven't quite bought in as much as you thought you have, when 2 or 3 months later they aren't quite so supportive of that idea. They want to go for a new idea, or they've forgotten the specifics of the idea that you said. So let me tell you how you can address these key issues that might occur with more of a sociable style kind of boss or key stakeholder. Well, the first thing you can do is make sure you bring a structure to the meeting or to the presentation. And for those of you that know me, you know I'm going to say the simply amazing structure, which is in my book, High Performance Presentations. You don't have to say there's a structure, but just make sure you've got your key points that you want to address. Now, it's okay to go off at a tangent, and in fact you might need to make sure that you maintain rapport with the sociable type. But make sure you come back to your agenda and that you've covered it well before the end of the meeting. So use the simply amazing structure to stay on track. It might even help to share a loose structure with the sociable preference before the meeting so they know what you're going back on track to. Secondly, because their preference isn't to remember all the details, it's a good idea if you pull out the key details for them, especially the negative consequences of what you might be doing, because sociable preference has a tendency for positivity. So as soon as they hear your good idea, as long as you've been quite persuasive, they might say, yes, I fully support that. What they may not hear so well is the negative consequences. So make sure you pull those out in your presentations so that when you get approval, it is clear approval despite the negative risks or negative consequences of your suggestions. And finally, make sure that they've got a very clear understanding of the outcomes. So as with any good meeting, write the actions at the end, summarise the actions of what's been agreed to, but also it wouldn't hurt to make sure they've got it in writing to refer back to when they need it and to reiterate it next time you come on to talk about the project. Just perhaps pull out those notes and remind your key stakeholder, here's the key things we covered last time and here's what you agreed to. So following on from that meeting, we're now going to talk about X, Y and Z. If you would like to know more about presenter personality styles, there's lots of free resources on my website, so go there and check that out. And if you would like to know more about personality style preferences in work, I've designed a whole online video series that you can have access to, so just take a look at that on my resources page. For more information about that on the resources page on my website, simplyamazingtraining.co.uk. Look forward to talking to you soon.